This short video will give you a sneak peek of changes coming to OneChart MPages on Wednesday, October the 3rd. Cerner is calling this a design uplift because although they made over 140 corrections, most of the changes that you see will be cosmetic. Things like less color. There are items that used to be colored, like these used to be in blue, and now they're in shades of gray. So when you look at the screen, the colors are going to draw your eye more to things that you need to pay attention to. They've also reduced white space. In some areas there was more white space, and so that caused more scrolling. This is a good example. My Notes Only filter used to be a checkbox. Now it's a button, and it reduced the amount of space that was between in this section, again reducing scrolling. The plus sign has moved. Plus sign for add in most components was just to the right of the name of the component. They've shifted all of the plus signs over to the right. They have made them a little bit smaller, and they are no longer colored. The reason that they shifted them is so that they're all in the same area as the other action buttons. So if you're looking for a filter, if you're looking to take an action, you're looking over to the right now always, and that includes the plus sign. There's some small functionality changes in the documents section, in the different components section, including documents. On documents, there's now a header for in-progress notes. So if you started a note, saved it, didn't complete it, it's going to be in this in-progress section. If you are the author of the note, you can click on the subject of the note, and it takes you right into Dynamic Doc, so you can finish your note. You can put in whatever you're looking to put in and then sign and submit. When you're reviewing any note in the document section, when it opens, you're going to get a little bit more of the note. The panel that opens is a little bit bigger. Also, you have the ability to modify right out of this area. It just saves a few clicks. The look of the histories component has changed slightly, but the functionality that I think you might like is the ability to, when you move these tabs, which we've always been able to move them, but they didn't stick next time. So I've put family as my default, and even if I log out and back in on this patient or a different patient, family is going to come up until I move it. Whenever you make a change like that, though, always remember that Cerner suggests that you exit through the exit door, and not through the X. So if you do see it not hold, you might try that first. The biggest change to home medications is you no longer have the component scroll bar, so it's going to give you more of your home medications right on your screen without having to scroll. You still have some color that's showing you that you need to do your med rec, so that's the main change with home meds. New order entry has had a couple of changes. When you search for an order, the format of the search results is a little bit different, a little bit more of a grid style instead of just a list. You also have the ability to add something right to your favorites from here. If I wanted to add CBC to one of my favorite folders, I could click on the star, and then it's going to ask me from which favorite folder I want to add it to, and it's going to add it right from here. Also, when you make a selection, you'll notice that the shopping cart is a little bit smaller, and the coloring is a little bit different. Just shows it off to the side instead of the whole thing lighting up. You still have the ability to look at your favorites from here, public and shared, all of that. None of that changed. It just the formatting is just a little bit different. Problem list is a component where you'll notice that the color is no longer there, or my exclamation point is in gray now. You'll also notice that they've changed the title of this section. It used to say historical, and it could be a little bit confusing as to what it meant. Now it's called out what it is. It's all previous this visit problems. So if I open that, these are all the problems that we've added on different encounters for this patient. So if I wanted to use one of those, I could pick it from here. I could add it to this visit, or I could add it to chronic. So it used to be called historical, now it's called all previous this visit problems. The last component that changed just a little bit is patient education. You still have your quick suggestions that are based on the problems that you've added to this visit, and it gives you some suggestions. One of the complaints that we got, or the things that we heard from providers, was that it was hard to know if something had been added to the note or not. So what they've done is they have, once you click, it's going to come up with a little green added. It just shows up for a second, but it shows you that you've added it, and you can see it down here. Still, if you double click, you're going to add it twice. So you still just want to do your single click. You also can add something to your favorites from here, just like you could do on the orders. So if I want to add this DASH eating plan, I could add that to my favorites, to my personal departmental favorites right from here. I can look at favorites from this button. I can also see the medication leaflets if I need that. I can go to custom, or I can go to more options. So I have all of the same functionality I had before. It just gave me a little bit easier way of telling that I've added something. This has been a sneak peek of changes that will go into OneChart MPages on Wednesday, October the 3rd. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. I'm Teresa Williams. My email is teresawilliams@ascension.org. You also can contact your informaticist, and they'll have answers to any of your questions. Thanks.